exam month, you guys are all pretty tense. Let's play some game here. Okay? Now, 14 questions, okay? And I'm going to ask the questions, and you just quickly answer them. Raise your hand, or just shout out the answer. As of 2018, which currency is the strongest among the following? American dollars, Kuwaiti dinar, I just learn how to pronounce the word dinar, euro, and pound sterling.
Kuwaiti dinar.
Very good. Dinar, okay, dinar is the strongest. It's worth 3.33 US dollars. Okay. So one dinar equals 3.33 US dollars. Next one, this one is easy. This one is almost like a giveaway. Which country has the most people living in it? All right. If you don't know this one, I'm going to kill you. All right, the third one, please. 2017, which country has the highest external debt? I will know that. U.S. Thank you, sir. Huh? What is that again? They use a lot of money. They borrow from China. Okay. Now, which country is located at the highest altitude? Bhutan, you got it. Yeah, my wife also got it too. So I think a lot of people know, right? They're just a little shy to shout the answer. Don't be shy, just show the answer, right? Which country has the most different time zones in its territory? Now, this one is tough. I got this one wrong too myself. I got it wrong. I kicked my butt. The first instinct would be Russia, right? It's Russia, spanning from east to west. I don't know how many time zones. But it's actually France. Do you know why? Exactly. It's a territory. France has a lot of little colonies, little islands here and there, stretching all over. I think 13 time zones altogether. Okay, that's a good one, right? Isn't it? The time zone is a good one. Which country has won the most Olympic medals? Come on. It's got to be the United States, isn't it? All right, as of 2018, which of the following countries produce the most oil per year? Tricky question now. Think before you think. Think before you speak now. Think before you speak. Eh?
The names of fracking corporations in 2014. So it's either US or Saudi because of the names.
Give me just one answer. Saudi? Okay, Saudi. Who said Saudi? Saudi Arabia. Saudi. A lot of Saudi hands, right? Okay, who said US? Only 2 hands? 3 hands? 3 hands? 1! US! They produce the most barrels a day. US. A tricky question again. Everybody thinks Saudi Arabia, but it's actually US. Next one, please. Which country is, now this is the average age now. Average age of a country. I like that answer. Not only an answer, he explains it. It's actually Monaco, right? Oh, wait. Go back to the last one. I'll finish it. Can you go back one? Cannot? Oh, okay. All right. Because you're right, it's a wealthy country. A lot of wealthy people, they actually go and live in Monaco. Also tax-free, tax haven. And the reason why I'm not there because I'm not wealthy. Okay, which country has the most color in its flag? Azerbaijan. You said okay, Azerbaijan, and who else? Come on, answer. Is that one answer? Yes.
The name is the stranger.
What is it? The name is the stranger. Is it an answer or a tricky little thing? I don't understand. Huh? Azerbaijan. Okay. Anybody? Other countries? South Africa. Our speaker tonight, 1! South Africa has the most color. I remember you. Yes, of course. Which country speaks the most languages among its population? Hey? This one is tough. I failed this one myself. Australia, Nigeria. Huh? Sicilia?
Papua New Guinea.
What is it? Australia?
No, Israel.
And
Papua New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea? Okay. All right, who says Australia? Okay. Nigeria? Nigeria? A few hands, a few more. Nobody picks Israel. What about Israel? Hi, Dr. Andrew. Dr. Andrew Cook is coming in, an ophthalmologist, a medical doctor. He's actually Papua New Guinea. Something like 280 different languages. You know this? Well, yeah. I mean, they call dialects and they native languages. Dialects, maybe you're right. Okay, this one is very easy. Syria. I just talked about it too. Every morning, you know, you turn on CNN, CNBC, you know, you see Syria. All the little kids, you know, suffering so much. It really pains me to see kids suffer in this Syria. All right, which country has the most powerful army according to the World Military Power Index? That one is giveaway, isn't it? US. Yes. Gotta be Finland, right? Year in, year out, every single year, one of these, you know, Scandinavian countries. Finland this year, right? Eh? Costa Rica? Really? Wow, I thought Bhutan may be close, huh? Bhutan, you know, Buddhist people. Oh, okay, okay, all right. So, I think we're coming to the, oh, okay, this is the last question. Which country ranks first in the Global Innovation Index? Israel? Ellen, you say Israel? Anybody say Israel? Israel, raise your hands with Israel, Israel. Going back, Switzerland? No hands in Switzerland, okay. China? A few hands in China. China's a copycat, I'm sorry. they don't innovate, they copy, right? Singapore? A few more hands in Singapore, you know?
Singapore, because the research and
I love this one. I love this one. Nobody raised a hand for Switzerland. It's actually Switzerland. Got you guys, got you. Now, you got to think about innovation, right? They innovate. They innovate products, ideas, and all that. China copy, we all know them. Singapore is coming pretty close to Switzerland, but it's not as good. Actually, my answer was Israel, right? But it's not. It's not. I got 8 out of 14. I barely passed. Looks so fun, right? So thank you so much. You know, I think we had fun. This is the way to calm you guys down a little bit, you know, during exam months. Relax. Have some fun, right? Now, may I call upon my very good friend, Kevin Ho, very good friend of mine. I've known Kevin for 5-6 years now. He first came to my forum, the YMCA. I think that night was Bernard Chen was the speaker. Bernard Chen was the speaker. That was maybe 5 years ago. And ever since that, you know, I think a little voice is talking to him inside. He says, you know, Kevin, you know, you make so much money. You're a senior banker, managing director of this company, bank, this and that. Maybe, you know, you should do something for young people in Hong Kong. So one afternoon he sat down for a long and deep thinking. And when he got up, he was a changed man. He said, I don't need my banking job anymore. He was managing director of Barclays, Asia Pacific, pulling in a big fat check every month. And before that was UBS. And before that was Coopers and Lybrand and other banks. So he has been a very senior banker, managing director level banker for 26, 30 years. And 2 years ago he said, that's it. That's the end of my banking career. I'm going to come out and do something good to the society, good to Hong Kong young people. And I take my hat off, Kevin. So let's all put our hands together. Give Kevin Ho a big round of applause. Can you all hear me? Okay. That was just a test. I didn't want to vote with the test.
So, well, thank you, Phil, for inviting me today, and it's always a pleasure speaking here. First question, would you like to see me with the hat on or with the hat off? Off. I have to ask this question because otherwise it could be too shiny for you guys. You know, you don't have sunglasses on. This light coming up here is beaming back at me. So I wasn't sure. You know how. So, well, first I wanted to talk to Phil about Small Talk Circle and the objective of Small Talk Circle, which he talked about. It is what I need to do what I do today, in part, even if not in all. And so I just wanted all of you to put your hands up for him to have been doing it for the 7th year, right? 7th year. He doesn't charge anybody anything. He doesn't want anything from anybody. And he doesn't need anybody's recognition. He doesn't need a medal. He just does it because it's the right thing for him to do. So I think the world needs more people like him. So. And the second person I want you to put your hands together for is you, because you're a special breed. On a Thursday night, you could be anywhere, but you chose to be here. Not because of me, but because of the event. And I think you are a special breed because when I was at your age, I wouldn't even think of anywhere near something like this because I was busy doing something probably more silly than this, like getting drunk in a party. So, hand for yourself. Okay, so tonight I'm going to be a little bit different than the past because for those who know me, I'm a fairly philosophical person. I like to talk about big, deep subjects, all the way out there. And I thought, what might be the most useful thing for me to talk about today, given that most of you are going to be entering the workforce for the first time in your life. And I thought, well, my grades are not so hot, so I can't really advise you on academics. I don't think I've ever got over 70 marks for any of my university subjects, so I really scraped past. And if I can do what I did, based on what Phil said about my introduction, and I think anyone can do it. And when I look back to some of the things that I did, I wanted to summarize a few points that I think were critical, that carry me, a very ordinary person, born in Hong Kong, to have ended up to what I did. And so I've got 3 do's and 3 don'ts. It's really easy to remember, 3. So I start with the do. When you enter the workforce, it's nothing about the knowledge. And it's increasingly become true that it's not about the knowledge. I know you have the knowledge because you graduated, so I'm not really concerned about your knowledge. When you come to the workforce, you're not really dealing with a machine. You're dealing with people. It's all about people. And the first thing that's about people, to have to work with people, is you don't really work with people you don't know or you're not comfortable with. So the most important thing, the first do about that work, even if you're starting on the first day, is to nurture relationships that you can do without any knowledge as a human being. So when it comes to other colleagues, there are plenty of opportunities. Getting a coffee, you don't know someone, you don't even have to talk to someone on your team. It could be someone, that is people that you walk by every day. You don't know them, there's 2 seats away from you, no one ever introduced you. Say hello. Or open a door. Or you find them carrying coffee and you say, can I help you? Just a simple gesture to make a connection that is friendly. That person will smile back and it will start a conversation. And when you start a conversation, ask them about themselves. Ask them and then listen. After you listen, you ask them another question. And then you say, great. At some point in time, they will reciprocate. They will look at you and say, oh, how about you? And then this ping pong starts going, and then you get the relationship going. It's really simple. So, spend the time, deliberately, go out of your way to be friendly to people and build relationships. It doesn't matter who they are. Because I can tell you, a lot of the opportunity that came to me in the later part of my career that set me to where I was, came from people that I didn't even know that they were saying good things about me behind my back to the people who need to make decisions about my career. And that's how it all happens. regardless of whether you work for a bank or any large corporation that has so-called office politics. Office politics basically is people talking about people behind the back. That's office politics. It's really simple. And you want your name to be mentioned in a positive light. Okay? So building a relationship always helps. So remember the first point. And then you can do anytime. It doesn't require you to have a degree, and you can control that. Okay? You don't have to wait for somebody to offer you these opportunities. You go out, make connections. Very simple. Second point. Learn like a baby. For far too many years, we've been educated from the year of 5 to about 20. Someone chucks a book in front of you and says, learn this, do this exam, get 50, and then you can do another one. So we are used to learning this way. Someone feeding us with things that we need to know. Okay? When you go to work, no such thing happens. I have many graduates saying that, well, this company is not giving me with training. And I'm thinking, well, I don't think they're obliged to give you training. I think you seek those opportunities yourself. And you don't need a book. How does baby learn? I think all of you had one experience that I know we share in common, which is learning how to walk. When you're a 1-year-old, or maybe you're a little bit late like me, 2, you learn how to walk. Okay? Now, at that point in time, no one can actually help you because we didn't even speak. No one can throw you a book at you and say, here's a book, learn how to walk. See that diagram? You don't use your leg, you use your feet. You can't do that, right? So let me think. How did we learn that? We learn by observing. We learn by a desire to experiment. And then we learn by not giving up and trying again. Because otherwise, you'll all be still crawling, right? Obviously you've learned. And so did I, right? And we've learned without anybody teaching us, pretty much. That ability is still in all of you. Don't let that expire. And if you don't use it, it will expire. And you'll always be looking at the book, searching for this, Googling that. Now, nothing against Google. I'm just saying that that's not the only way to learn something new. There are some values in looking at something, grabbing it, having a go, and see what it does. Right? And there are people you can watch. So we've got 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a mouth. Watch what people do, listen to what people say, and have a go. Right? So this is important because there are many opportunities that require us to do that without any instruction. And unless we choose to do that, we don't have those opportunities at work. Someone give you an opportunity and say, hey, can you do that? Now, you may not have 100% confidence to do that, but if you are able to learn and you're giving it a go, then your chance of at least exposing yourself, exposing your talent, become a lot bigger. And a lot of times, opportunity came because somebody saw you doing something before. And had it not been that reason, they would not have seen you doing it. But you have to say yes to those opportunities. You can't just shy away and say, well, maybe not. My friends say, well, you're going to look stupid. No, don't do it. Well, who are they? This is your career, it's your life, or their life. It's up to you. I'm not saying what's right or wrong, but it's your choice, right? Make your choice. Don't be afraid. Nobody knows everything. The reason why they don't know is because nobody knows. You might be the first one to know, and after you figure it out, you tell everybody else how to do it. And you became a hero. Wow! Third point is, when you communicate, either verbally or in written form, communicate with clarity and purpose. You're going to find yourself working with a lot of people. And it doesn't really matter what function you perform. You're always surrounded by people. You always have emails coming back and forth, phone calls coming back and forth. Have you ever received any email from a friend or a colleague, if you have worked before, where someone sent you a big paragraph, and then at the end you don't know what is it for, because it was just too complicated. Someone sent you a story, so you just spew out. Right? Well, with this project, there's a problem here, and I don't know what to do about it. So, well, why are you saying it to me? Right? So, when you don't communicate with clarity and purpose, your communication is discounted by the receiver. Either when you speak or when you write. When you write, it impacts on you communicating. It's very hard to actually decipher if you don't actually look at it yourself. So I would suggest politely that if you are doing written communication, simple topic that is relevant. You say, hi, I'm so and so. The reason I'm writing to you is I need your help. I need to make a decision. I need an opinion. And then you figure out this and you say, thank you for that. And you try to compose your message with some sort of chronological or logical sequence so that people understand the story. Okay? When it's short and when it's clean, when it's clear, people are motivated to answer you. They're motivated to get back to you. But if you give them a paragraph and it's just a blur, then you're not really making them easy. So therefore, you get kicked out of the top 10 of the favorite people to answer emails for the first day, and therefore you become unproductive. And if you're a project manager, you won't be there for long. Okay. So, and when it comes to verbal communication, especially in the business type communication where you're going to present to a client, you're presenting to a boss, the idea, or you're presenting to a board, very important that you set forth, what you're saying, why you're saying it, and then number of options or whatever. I know it sounds all very common sense to you, maybe, right? Kevin, I know all of this. Okay, well, my question is, I know it's common sense, but is it common practice? Do you actually do it? Notice next time you speak, how well structured are you in your speech? How many unnecessary words are contained in your speech? Just health check. Okay, so that's number 3. Communicate with clarity and purpose. Now we get to don'ts. Okay, the first don't, my favorite first don't is, don't ever say, it's not my job. Please don't say that. Okay, I know it's not your job, but there is a reason why someone asks for your help. Hey, can you do this for me? Hey, that person's just gone on holiday. I'm really short. Can you cover that for just 2 hours? Don't ever say it's not your job. I would ask you to do this. I'm not saying for you to say yes every single time, but if you look at the request and it's not unreasonable and is within your ability and you do have time, please, never been a sales guy. Okay? If I went into sales, I would fail miserably, so I turn it down. Anyway, opportunities like that came to you, and if you say yes, just to have a go, a bigger opportunity will come that you never really imagined. And that's how an accountant that I started with, an operation that I started with, ending up managing a director's business for a bank. This is not a brag. This is to tell you how ordinary I started. I don't have an MBA degree. You know how much I hate to study, right? If I did an MBA, I'd probably fail that too. So that's why I didn't do it. A very, very ordinary person, human being. And after many years of understanding these, ultimately, because of the relationship that I built, because of the people that I helped, when I didn't need to help them, but when they needed my help, they remembered. I never asked and say, hey, I did for you last time, how about you do something for me? I've never done that. But because I didn't do that, they say, hey, I like it. So you want people to like to work with you, because then you get the opportunities. Okay? So that's the first don't. Don't ever say, that's not my job. Second don't. Don't talk about people negatively. If you have nothing good to say nothing. In fact, if you are the one driving the conversation, don't talk about people at all. Talk about ideas. Talk about events. Don't talk about people. It's not that interesting. And always set you up to get trapped when you talk about people. Ultimately, one guy will say, oh yeah, but that's bad, right? And you kind of feel obliged and say, yeah, that's pretty bad. And then boom, what would happen? That person may be someone who trusted you, and then later found out that, oh, this is really what you think about me behind my back. All that goodwill, trust, evaporate overnight in a second. Boom. And then that person will spread out the other news to everyone else who knows you about you. Reputation is all you've got at work. Because that's all people care about is can they trust you? Can they rely on you? Right? There are many things that you're good at, and there are many things that a lot of other people are good at. How do you set yourself apart from those people? It's not about the hard horsepower of do I know more. Because in our age of technology and AI, it doesn't really matter how much you know. You just got to know to ask the right question, and then you press a button and say, okay, that's the answer. It's not that exciting anymore. Knowledge is no longer the only power. Knowledge is somehow, but it's how you use the knowledge. And how you use the knowledge, how do you relate to people with this knowledge? So it's really down to people now. If you think about AI technology, what is one thing that they cannot replace? They cannot replace physical human interaction. They cannot replace, if I'm going to do business with a person and I'm going to sign a big deal, do you think email would do it? I have to meet this person, shake that hand, look them in the eye, talk to them, have lunch, find out what they are. Can I trust them? Do they send me good vibes? Do I give them good vibes? Okay? That cannot be replaced, at least in my humble opinion. So, be very careful about that. Don't talk about people behind it, and especially behind the back. However, if you have something positive to say, broadcast it. Be generous. But you have to be genuine and be prepared to give examples why you think this person is a good person. Otherwise, it's not worth anything. It's nothing but a tabloid paper article. If you generally think highly of someone, say something with substance and with some evidence. Okay? And it doesn't really matter if the rest of the group doesn't agree. That's okay. Because if the word gets out and that person felt that you supported him and nobody did, guess what happens? The reverse happens. They will spread about the word about this is a really fair guy. You know, he says it like it is. Credit points for you for later. Ice cream comes later. Turn his back? No. 0. So stay away from those people. Finally, the last note. Really simple. And everyone can do it, but now that we've got a handphone, nobody does it, is don't be late. Don't be late for anything. Meetings, conference calls, lunch, client meeting, don't be late. Because this is the one thing that you can control, 100%. That if you choose not to control, it's the biggest indicator of unreliability. Why would I give anything important to someone who is unreliable? And habitually and chronically unreliable. If you're always 1 minute late, always 2 minutes late, always 5 minutes, always 10 minutes late, you know what? You don't know this, but this is becoming a habit for you. Okay? So when you are deciding how much time do I have to give myself before I get out the door, you're always so close to the edge that the minus of the most minor, car traffic jam or whatever is going to say you 3 or 4 minutes late. And there are meetings that are so important that everybody's there waiting. And then you arrive. And you're not the biggest guy in the block. And your boss looks at you. And he shakes his head. And you're done. Of all the good work that you've done, he's not going to remember that. He's going to remember the one time that you embarrassed him. That's what he's going to remember. We are all like that. If it was us, we'd do that too. I'm like that too. Okay? I'm not a saint. I'm just saying that it is very important to understand human behavior and ourselves, so that we understand the importance of why these things have those impacts on our lives. Seemingly so small, so minute. Guess what? If it happened to you and the positions reversed, you would be blowing up too, because this is a $2 million client. And you just made me look like a fool. You don't even control your stuff. They don't even turn up on time. How can
The first two, you say that conversation needs to have a purpose. That's when the first two, when we start a conversation with a stranger like the others, then what is the purpose?
Fantastic question. The purpose is to relate to the person, to understand the person as a human being. So the first part of our relationship is assuming that you're just first day at work, you don't have anything to do, and say, Kevin, I'm just new here, I don't know what to do, there's nothing I can do. I'm telling you there's something you can do, is to relate to another person as a human being. You are sowing the seed of connection and relationship with these people so that the next time you talk to them, it's kind of like putting water in sunshine and love. It grows. But any trees takes years to grow before you get fruits, right? You know that. Even tomatoes take a few months. Nothing comes like that. And the worst thing is, you didn't know that, and then the day it becomes there's a relationship, you rush out to try to make a relationship. People see you coming a mile away, they see, even if you try to be friendly then, it's pointless. So when you have the time, which is when you first join a company, spend a majority of the time, if you can afford it, to build relationships. Get to know people. Go out of your way to be helpful in order to build that connection. Okay? I'm just going outside. Does anyone want a coffee? Or just go downstairs, that's what I want lunch. Because as a junior person who's got no job to do, that's what you can do. See, this is an attitude issue. If I'm a manager and I look at this guy, he hasn't shown me anything yet, but this is such a helpful guy. I'm going to give you an opportunity first. That's what makes a difference.
Yes, ask questions, and we're gonna go and eat and drink.
I have a question. When you are doing something and between these criteria you mentioned once, for example, just say a little sort of negative words behind someone,
Yeah.
how do you deal with it?
Sorry, can you go with the question again? When I say,
How can you deal with these cases where you just break your criteria
if I break my criteria,
once?
so if I break my criteria, meaning that I accidentally say something bad,
Yes.
well, there's nothing you can do. Whatever comes out, come out. Just remember, don't say it next time. You can't take it back.
So you just give up this relationship with the...
Oh, no, that wouldn't be giving up. So, you said something bad, you don't mean it, okay? Or maybe you do mean it. Well, if you do mean it, then, hey, own up to it. Own up to it. Take the responsibility. You know, you could be ruining the relationship, but you know what? You deserve it. You behave inappropriately. I would say, the more times you own up to it, itself is a growth process for you. Because you're taking responsibility of your choices. You're less likely to blame other people. If it's yours, say it's yours. People will respect you for that. They may not forgive you, but they will respect you. That's a very big difference. Better than not forgiving and not respecting.
Most of your suggestions were more about finding opportunities in the workplace, but I'm curious about some suggestions you have on finding opportunities outside of the workplace.
What kind of opportunities would you like to see right now?
Let's say internships, maybe
Okay.
in secondary school.
Mhm. So people talk about networking meetings a lot. Okay? So I have my own meaning of what networking means. Networking doesn't mean you go up, guns firing, preparing your pitch, and the first question you go up, shake your hand, get your card, tell them how great you are, and then say, let's have a coffee. That's not networking. That's called abusing people. Using people. No one likes to be networked. Okay? That's why most people don't like to go to networking meetings. Because they're expecting either to be used or abused. Or both. Be someone different. Go there not to hunt, but to farm. When you hunt, you grab a gun, you grab a knife, and you kill an animal once, you consume the animal, you go to the next animal. You farm, you sow seeds. And hopefully, many will grow, and then the fruits will come back year after year after year. Okay? But when you go farming, it's not about getting to the person and killing them. It's about establishing a connection. Again, establishing a connection means I'm trying to understand you as a human being. What motivates you, your likes and dislikes, your aspirations. It all matters to me because when you talk, I listen. And when I listen carefully about what you say. And when I don't understand something, I go back to something you just said, specifically what you said, and ask for clarification. That is a way to demonstrate how much you care to understand the person. And if the person feels that, it's a feeling. No one will ever really remember exactly what you say, but they'll never forget how you make them feel. It's very soft. It's right down here, right in the stem of the brain. You can't even control it. They call it first impression. Okay? It's visceral. It's in your body, you feel it. When someone is disingenuous, you feel it. Their eyes darting around you, when they talk to you, someone looks behind you and says, oh. That's disrespectful. Look at a phone, that's disrespectful. Looking down, that's disrespectful. All this very little thing, they'll give you a clue. But if you are a person that is just absolutely present with a person, and you care about what they say, they're going to remember you. This is what happens when someone remembers you. They're going to find out what you might be good for, and they're going to keep an eye out. Not the first day, not the second day, but a month later, calling you and say, hey, remember you studied this, right? I've got this friend who's just looking for someone. I think you want me to connect? Because you left an impression that is favorable as a human being. Not because you're so great at grades. The dumb does it. Everybody's smart. I mean, I'm the dumbest guy up here. Seriously. Right? All you guys are smart. Okay? So smart is not what gets you those things. It's your ability to connect to another human being with authenticity that gets you those things. And that takes time, that takes deliberation, that takes intent. And then it takes an effort for them to say, everybody want to know you. And if you go to a networking meeting, don't subscribe to a rule and say, I've got to get 10 cards good. Don't worry about it. If you strike up a conversation with someone and it's a genuine conversation, even one is great. I would go much prefer a deeper conversation than many shallow ones. Collecting cards, there's no use. What are you going to do with the cards? Go home, show somebody I collected them? That's it. That's it. I don't even print cards anymore. If you really want to find me, there's LinkedIn. You can message me. There's a phone number. If you don't want to find me, even if I give you 10 cards, you still won't find me. It doesn't really matter. It is how we interact while we're there. That's it. You have this golden moment when we physically interact. That's it. I will leave an impression or I won't. How much I care about you. It's all about that. So getting that right, actually, the rest falls into place as long as you're not doing the wrong things. Right? So if you don't know who to connect to who you can. And then do the best you can to understand those people. They will be your best advocate. And you don't need to try to find out who I can connect to. They'll do it for you.
All right, for the Q&A, you continue on signing about you guys have something we can change. Okay, this is stop right here. I said, okay, we're going to give Kevin a big hand again.